Hi there, and welcome to another one of my video Bible lessons. I apologize, it's been a while, so thought I'd do one for you guys. This one's called God's Kind of Love. When it comes to love, we've been lied to by the world. Most people settle for lust instead of love. 1 Corinthians 13 reveals God's kind of love. And that's what we'll be studying today, so you can turn to 1 Corinthians 13. It's a really good chapter to study out if you've never looked at it. It's called the love chapter. And it is a really good chapter. You usually hear it at weddings a lot. From like verse 4 to verse 13, they usually read it at weddings. So it is a really good chapter to read. And we're going to start with 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up. So love suffers long and is kind. For most Christians, that's not even a goal. They say, hey, in our family, we just let our hair down and we say what we think. Or they use the excuse, I just have a blunt personality. They have a million excuses for why they suffer. They don't suffer long and they aren't kind. Well, you can be delivered from that. If you were to operate in God's kind of love, you would suffer long and be kind. You would not be critical and be angry and bitter. God's kind of love does not envy. Are you jealous of other people? Do you want what they have? God's kind of love does not parade itself and is not puffed up. Love is not self-centered or self-promoting. If you're around somebody who's bragging about everything they've done, do you feel compelled to boast so that you will look special too? That's not God's kind of love. Society today puts athletes, musicians, movie stars on magazine covers. We look up to them and idolize them, and many of them whom are arrogant to the max. Muhammad Ali used to say, I am the greatest. Today, everybody thinks they're the greatest. And they openly brag, I'm the best. And to say other boastful things. That's not God's kind of love. You can stay in 1 Corinthians 13. I'm just going to read a verse in Proverbs real quick. Let's see here. Proverbs 27, verse 1 and 2. That's Proverbs 27, verse 1 and 2. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what that day may bring. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. And then I'll go back to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 5. Does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil. So God's kind of love is self-controlled and acts properly when a person says, oh, we're in love, we can't wait till we're married. That's not God's kind of love. It's lust. If someone can't control themselves, they're not disciplined. They are not displaying God's kind of love. Love was Jesus hung at the cross. Love is self-sacrifice and not self-indulging. If you're going to abuse or hurt or take advantage of another person, you're not in love, you're in lust. God's kind of love doesn't behave unseemly. Love does not seek her own. Most people today are selfish and self-centered. There's no longer a society where we get along and cooperate with one another. Now it's all about my rights. And that's not God's kind of love. We haven't set love as a goal. Some may think this is new to you, or if you heard it, you rejected it and thought, I don't care. I don't take care of myself. If I don't take care of myself, then who's going to take care of me? And then you wonder, why you're not receiving God's best. You're resisting God and have submitted to the flesh. It's supposed to be the other way around. Submit to God, resist the world, the flesh, and the devil. And that's from James 4 verse 7 says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. And we'll read 1 Corinthians 13 verse 5 to 8. That's 1 Corinthians 13, 5 to 8. Does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. So God's kind of love never fails. Yeah, we have people today saying, I've just taken all I can take. I can't bear anymore. I can't believe that things are going to work out. All we've done is admit that we aren't operating in God's kind of love. His love flowing to and through us can bear all things, believe all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. God's kind of love never fails, and most of us haven't even set walking in God's love as a goal. We excuse ourselves thinking, well, I'm only human. No, you're not only human. 1/3 of you is wall-to-wall Holy Ghost. You can start living in the power of God. You don't have to live as a mere human today. So that is my small lesson. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And it is true. We do need to have love as a goal because God is love. So when we operate in God's kind of love, we, are operating, we're mirroring what He is. So that's why I did this. And for further study, you can look at it. It's a really good chapter. I just kind of just briefly outlined it for you guys and hope it will bless you guys. I will be back doing one maybe about why Jesus came for you guys, and talking about salvation and that kind of stuff. So hope you guys can tune into that one. So and like I said, on my Facebook, if you find me on there, I'm doing James and Hebrews on there right now. So if you're interested in those, you can find me on Facebook, and I may eventually do them on here. I haven't decided. I'm still doing the Book of John on here slowly. So with that, hope you guys have a good day, and God bless. And remember to share and subscribe to my YouTube page. So God bless.